Poly, as you know, has been pretty much crushing it on its new generation of products that are more for a hybrid work. And Daniel, you and I have talked about it many times. The thing that we think the industry is missing when we go to hybrid is how do you make everybody equal, right? It was one thing when we were all remote, where if you're a VP or the wood chopper, junior wood chopper, I was called that, by the way, 30 years ago, you got the same size block, and you could mute, everybody can mute or unmute themselves. Well, what happens when we have hybrid, where you have people who are remote, and then you have the people at headquarters, let's call it the VP at headquarters, and then the people who are sucking up to the VP at headquarters sitting right next to that person. That means we no longer have equality. So what Poly did is they brought out a camera called the E70. I haven't reviewed it yet, so this is just more kind of editorial about it. But it has two 4K cameras to scan the entire room to be able to zoom in on the person who's talking. But in my opinion, and more importantly, it can segment each person's face that's in the big room to give that look that everybody had when we were remote. And that, to me, truly is a breakthrough, and it's going to help to have a softer landing for people when they get back into the office. And the other thing that's crazy, too, is this thing is only as wide as a 13-inch notebook. So it's about 12.6 inches wide. So it's not this massive hulking beast out there. So I haven't tried one yet, but hats off to Poly for bringing out what I consider the next generation of hybrid work collaboration devices.
Yeah, Pat, look, we have a completely different future of work. We have almost the entire industry of tech and a number of different industries that are all trying to find the balance after a year to a year and a half of people in knowledge positions working remotely, and the technology that's going to enable high quality interactions when you have at least that one person. I think there was a stat like almost 90% of meetings is going to have one person at least that will not be in the room. And let's face it, it's going to be a lot more than that. And so, it used to be enough just to have a laptop. And there are great companies, whether that's Dell and HP, building really specific laptops to address these meetings. But when you want a little bit more, when you want a little more quality, when you want a little bit better voice, when you're trying to do a podcast or a broadcast, or you really want to make sure your meetings have optimum video, optimum immersion, Poly is really one of the companies that I've been very fond of for what they're trying to build. And what I like most, by the way, is that they understand the need to be agnostic as it comes to which platform. Zoom, Microsoft, Cisco, 8x8, Ring Central. I don't know. Did I miss anybody? But the point is whatever you're using, that hardware will be compatible and it will be easier to use. And Pat, you and I do dozens of pods and recordings and webcasts and webinars on the weekly. And we also do 3-4 times that in terms of video briefings. Quality matters. And I'll just leave it on this thought. For a long time, people never really appreciated audio, for instance. But when you go to a movie theater, you think it's the size of the screen. It's never been about the size of the screen. It was always about the amazing immersive THX Dolby surround with the screen. And the point is anybody that's put a huge 70, 80, 100-inch plasma in their family room and doesn't have a great sound system understands why that is the case. Not to, take a consumer moment and make it an enterprise moment, Pat, but these peripherals matter. And in the future of work with hybrid and remote, better tech means a better experience.